welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you the newest collection from China Glaze. It's called Serpentine. Before you get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to see what these polishes look like on the nails, what this collection looks like, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss out on future uploads. Side note, the baby is hanging with me today, so if you hear little coos or fusses, that's why. Also, if I look a mess, it's because I'm a mess. It's been a long week, what can I say? I was actually a little bit on the fence of whether I should review this collection or not because she's saying hi. Because I'm very torn on some of the colors. Some of them I really like, a few of them I really don't. So I'm going to share that with you today. If you're unaware, this is a 6-piece collection. They are all shimmery shades. One kind of almost seems to have like micro flakies, but interesting to see a collection that isn't all creams. But I will save my thoughts on the collection as a whole, my favorites, until the end of the video. But yeah, I have a lot of them. So we have 6 polishes to look at all together. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. Alright, so the first shade we're going to take a look at is called Fall from Grace. China Glaze describes this as being a deep sea sapphire blue with purple and blue reflective shimmer. I would describe the base as being a more gray leaning navy. I definitely agree with the purple and blue shimmer. I don't know that it's reflective, it's not. But it is very shiny and it's on the larger particle size, so they almost look like little micro flakes. They're super cute. This one had a more sheer formula and it wasn't super even. I also encountered the issue of the polish running down the stem of the brush. I frequently run into that with China Glaze. I suspect that as this polish thickens up over time, it'll be less of an issue. But yeah, this one was a little bit tricky to apply. I did need 3 coats to get full opacity. In the future, I would probably layer this over something else. On my Instagram, if you follow me there, I did layer it over Orly's Endless Night, so you can check out my swatches there. But here's what it looks like in 3 coats. You can see those beautiful shimmer flakies against that blue base. This one is really pretty. So here is what it looks like compared to Orly's Endless Night. You can see the base color is pretty close, but of course the finishes are very different. Endless Night has a beautiful blue-gray shimmer running throughout, whereas Fall from Grace has those flakies, and it's a little bit more navy leaning. The next shade we're going to take a look at is called Pantheon Goddess. This one's described as being a tantalizing, I hate that, a silver metallic hue with shifts or streaks, they say, of blue and purple pearlescent sparkles. So definitely see the metallic silver base, and then it's got like a shifting shimmer that shifts blue to purple. Really pretty icy shade. I did like this one a little bit more on the nail than I was expecting, but I still didn't really like it. It is a pearlescent shade. I'm not a pearly girl. That's not my thing. If it's yours, you might really love this. It did dry down with some brush strokes, but they weren't super bad. Full opacity in 2 coats. It had great coverage, would have some great stamping potential, and the shifts were pretty in this. I'm just not a big silver person. So I thought this would be close to China Glaze's Holy Shift from Halloween a few years ago, but as you can see, they are totally different. This Pantheon Goddess is much cooler. It's got almost like a greeny blue look to it, whereas Holy Shift, of course, shifts more purple, and yeah, they're quite different. The next shade we're going to look at is called Gold Hearted. I love that name. This one is a warm golden brown with gold shimmer, and they didn't describe it as a magnetic, but it's a magnetic. Whoa. So this one had a really great formula, and I actually liked the color. The base color is really pretty. It does lean more bronze, almost like an antique gold, but it's very yellow leaning. When you build it up though, you get more of like a darker, almost brown leaning metallic shade. It's really pretty in 2 coats on its own. Not like anything super unique, but very pretty. But the magnetic makes it super unique. I wish they would have described it as being a magnetic, although it is a nice surprise. Just to see if the magnetic effect could be a little bit more intense, I applied a thicker 3rd coat. magnetized again, and these were the results. You can see the magnetic line a little bit better. It almost makes the base brown and then pulls that gold to the center. Love this one magnetized. Like it okay without the magnet. The formula was good though. So here it is compared to some other bronzy gold kind of shades. You can see that this one is the most green leaning out of the bunch. Leggy Legend from Essie was the closest thing, but you can see that that one is quite a bit warmer. And then there was another surprise magnetic in this collection. It's called Slither. This one is described as being a fine gold iridescent shimmer. I don't know. It's got kind of a browny, mushroomy gray base, and then when you magnetize, it pulls those brown, bronze shimmers to the center. So on application, this was really thick for me. It was not easy to work with, but I always have issues with China Glaze's PR packages, the bottles not being twisted on all the way or breaking in the box, and this one was partially opened, and so the formula was very thick. I don't think it probably is this thick if you get a regular bottle, but it was almost a one coater for me. Definitely opaque in 2 coats. When I magnetized, the magnetic line was not as noticeable, but it pulled in those brown pigments and revealed the black base, and felt like there was some silver glass flakes in there as well. I did the same thing where I applied a thicker 3rd coat just to see if that made the magnetic pop a little bit more. I did not feel like it did. This one is a solid 2 coater. I like the colors in here, did not like the formula, and that kind of let me down a little bit. But again, I think that was just a me bottle issue. This one I had nothing similar to in my collection, so I didn't share a comparison. I just shared a regular swatch. So here are 2 coats of Slither with a glossy top coat, and this is unmagnetized because I didn't realize it was a magnetic. Up next, we have Madame Medusa. This one's described as being a slithering olive green with luminous popping gold shimmer. Ooh. This one I really, really liked. It has a beautiful olive green base. China Glaze is just, you know, when I think olive, I think China Glaze. They've been coming out with a lot of them lately. And this one had a really pretty formula. It was very even, not super opaque. You can see a lot of my nail showing through and it looks kind of brownish, but when you build it up on that 2nd coat here, it truly does read more like an olive. The gold shimmer in here, again, is on the large particle side, so it kind of gives off a flaky kind of feel. I thought they were gold micro flakies, but they could just be large particle shimmers. Or they could, you know, be the same thing. But anyway, here's what it looks like in 2 coats compared to some of their other kind of olivey green releases, all from China Glaze here. 24K Noir has different shimmer. And then Love 'Em and Leaves 'Em has a black base with green shimmer. But interesting that China Glaze releases so many of this family of color, and they all look completely different, and they're all done really well. I love all 3 of these. Also, every polish I share in today's video, I will link below if they are available. And then the final shade in this collection, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you my absolute favorite, is called Caution Might Bite. This one is described as being a fiery crimson red orange with bright orange shimmer. This one I thought had the same gold flakies, it looks like to me, as the green in this collection. So it's kind of got like a little bit of a burnt pumpkin orange base and then a beautiful gold flake or gold micro flake or shimmer running throughout. Wow. The formula on this was remarkable. It was pretty much a 1 coater, definitely opaque into, so smooth, so easy to work with, and this is fall in a bottle. I've been craving gorgeous oranges, and this one just made me happy. I mean, just look at it. Those gold shimmers are fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. This is another one that I feel like China Glaze does a lot of oranges. They do them very well. You can see I don't have anything like this one in my collection. It's a lot darker than Orangey Fierce from last year's Jurassic Park collection. And then there's a typo there. I also compared it to Orly's Light My Campfire. Similar colors, but quite different. So that was China Glaze's newest collection. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. I don't know if this is going to work anymore, you all. This is fun, but it's really hard to focus with someone so cute around. I was very excited to see a collection that wasn't all creams, but a few of the polishes I just really struggled with the formula. I think it was two, the silver and the taupe. And the taupe-ish one, I think it was because it didn't come packaged the best, and the leaking situation just made it super duper thick. The flaky one, the blue flaky one, was just a little bit on the sheer side, but I did really like that one. I almost put it in my favorites, but there were two standouts that I liked a whole lot more. And then the bronzy one, I was just kind of, it was fine. Okay, but I did have two standouts. But the first one is called Caution Might Bite. This one was, I think, my very top pick of the collection. I loved how it looked in the bottle. Once I got it on the nails, I loved it even more. Just the base color is so rich and saturated. I had nothing like it in my collection, and China Glaze has released a few of these kinds of shades, but nothing quite like this one. And I thought the gold shimmer or microflake in here was really stunning. And the formula, this eventually is going to be a one coater. After using it a few times, it's going to thicken up to be one coat. And then my other top pick was Madame Medusa. This one, again, was one I thought for sure I would have a dupe from, not just from China Glaze, but somewhere in my collection. Is that your favorite too? She likes the orange, y'all. But as you saw in my comparisons, none of the green, dingy green China Glazes I had compared to this one at all. Again, I think they use the same pretty gold microflake. I'm a fan of that flake, and I really like the formula of this one too. It was an easy two-coater. I would definitely like to see more of this finish from China Glaze. I thought they did it really, really well. So yeah, if you're gonna grab anything from that collection, I definitely recommend picking up those two. They were my absolute favorites. I'll link where you can purchase these polishes down in the description box, and if they're available at Beyond Polish, I will link them down there, as well as my affiliate code for Beyond Polish, which is Ray. If you use the code Ray at checkout, you get 10% off your entire order. Let me know if you all enjoyed seeing this review. Again, China Glaze seems to be doing this a lot with their collection, where they release the collection and some people review it because they purchased it and then they send it in PR later, and I don't want to risk having it twice. So I'm just gonna wait till they send it in PR, if they send it in PR, and review it super late. If you guys think this is helpful, let me know. I hope you all are having a wonderful fall and continue to have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye!